Hey, this is Brian,
And Shelby.
and you're listening to the Hyperspace.
Pod Blast. Aren't you a little short for a podcast?
Huh?
Star Wars, cartoons of Star Wars.
Oh, all right. That's
our
the jam.
That's our new theme song. Do you like it?
No.
Welcome back to Hyperspace Pod Blast.
Home of that awesome theme song.
Today, we're going to talk about Resistance.
Yeah, man.
Episode 2.
The Triple Dark.
Okay.
Just in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't scary at all. I actually don't know what the Triple Dark refers to. I can't even remember. So, oh well.
Yeah, we're recording this after watching it this past week. I think we did it, Sunday? Monday? Something like that. We watched it earlier this week.
Yeah,
And
the first couple were on demand, so we watched them, and we're all excited, and now we waited too long to record.
Well,
'Cause
I
we're
mean,
lazy.
I don't know. I think this says something, though.
Yeah,
The fact that I can't... Well, first of all, the fact that they bleed together, so we weren't exactly sure what was happening between episodes 2 and 3, because we've watched episodes 1, 2, and 3. Oh, by the way, spoilers.
Yeah, right. If you haven't seen Resistance,
And I'm
stop
hoping that we
listening.
don't do any spoilers for the third episode, but we probably will, because like I'm trying to say
Yeah.
I'm not quite
this may be
sure-
accidentally a episode
Yeah.
about the next two.
Yeah.
Not really.
because
We'll
I'm
figure
not
it out.
quite sure where one ended and one started. But I think that's what I'm trying to get at is I liked it. I enjoyed watching it, but obviously it didn't stick enough for me to remember what happened in which episode. And like, I had to think about what actually happened.
And I don't know. Maybe this is just me being grumpy old Brian.
What?
But honestly, a lot of the EU Star Wars stuff anymore kind of has that effect on me. Like, I can think back and remember stuff from Legends books that I read over a decade ago, but details and things about a lot of the new canon books are just gone. Like, I remember the basic plot points, and that's about it. Because, frankly, most of it doesn't actually matter or do anything for any of the characters. A lot of the stuff that has existing characters in it just seems to exist so that people can see the characters they like do things, even though they don't matter. I don't know.
Wow. That's some
Yeah.
heavy stuff to start out this episode
I'm
with,
sorry.
Brian.
I'm sorry, everyone.
You're really bringing me down, harsh and mellow.
I know. I'm going to continue on this train because
Okay, here
honestly,
we go.
like,
Choo-choo.
well, it's unfortunate because Resistance seems to be a lot of what we were asking for
Yeah, I
in
agree
Star
with that.
Wars. It's the new era. I
Yep.
mean, granted, they've done the same old thing where
They
they
squeeze
stuck
it
it in
into-
somewhere where we know
Everyone's gonna be
whatever
okay. Everyone
happens-
of importance. Well, I
Right.
guess. Okay, importance. What does that mean?
importance in the saga. Like, there's no reason to worry about Poe or BB-8 or
Right.
whomever else they
Or Phasma.
introduce. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe she could die and
yeah,
come
she
back
might, she
in this whole
might.
series.
Who knows?
You never
Every
know.
episode.
Okay,
It'll be
sorry.
like a
I will
Scooby-Doo thing.
or like a Kenny from South Park.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's back.
They just don't
She's
even
back, guys. I don't know how.
they
but
don't even
she's-
mention it. It's just like she dies and then the next episode she's just there.
You killed
cares?
Phasma. You nerf herders.
Phasma's actually the new clone trooper like beta program. They just keep making one new Phasma.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's actually been 14 Phasmas throughout the 2 movies and Resistance in the comics. We didn't know because
We did
it's
not
top secret.
know. Anyway,
Anyway.
I'm gonna get off this negativity train.
Okay, I'll get back on it later though.
I'm sure
Just
you
wait.
will.
Just wait.
And here's the thing. I like this show. I've enjoyed watching it. I never am watching it and be like, oh, I wish this was not on right now. So
I don't either. I mean, to be completely fair,
I think it's fun.
I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I want to see where it goes. I still want to see where it goes.
And it also, I feel like we're still in that window of slow start. That
Right,
it
it
totally
is.
can be slow
Well,
start.
and that's, again, this is another thing where it's brand new characters. So we have to get introduced to them all, you know? I mean, we know
Yeah.
BB-8, but other than that, thankfully, these are all new people, which, I mean, was kind of the way Rebels was at first, and then they just inundated us with people
Right.
we'd already heard of. So
Right, but I
cross
mean,
our fingers that doesn't happen.
I think what it is we're being introduced to all these new characters, and we're also being asked to care about them.
Well, and that's a weird thing. The first episode kind of did that, and then I feel like the next 2 episodes pulled me back a little bit.
Oh,
like,
really?
I was very annoyed at Kaz mostly.
Oh my gosh, me
going
too.
forward.
Like, he keeps doing things, and I'm like, what?
I keep thinking to myself, how old is this kid? Like, at first,
that's true.
he played to be kind of, I don't know, he's on his own-ish. He's a pilot, so he's got a job. I was thinking he was like maybe 20.
Yeah, and he's acting very...
And then now, he acts like my middle school student, so... Like,
and I mean, maybe
who
that's to play more to the audience, so I'll give
And I
him
get that, but then why did they have him...
I don't know, it makes
start
more
out...
sense with this story.
I guess.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm an adult trying to watch a kid's show, and I want all my needs be met.
I know,
please.
right? We're like really nitpicking on this kid show, and kids are probably like, "There's a chip and it's fast." Whee! And great. I hope there's a kid that actually thinks about it like that.
I don't know.
His favorite character is the ship.
It's probably Phil.
Yeah, maybe. If he ever gets around to watching it.
Yeah. He'll just say it's not canon. It's fine.
Yeah. True.
Oh dear. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm in the same boat with you, and like part of me in my whole like, oh, let's analyze this to death was like, oh wow, why is it that Star Wars is showing all these men acting much younger than their age
and
doing
all
things?
Idiots, basically.
Well, yeah. It's like why are they doing things and having sort of like these emotions and actions that aren't equivalent to the biological age that they're supposed to be.
But yeah, that's the thing. I can't.
But I don't think it's that deep at all. Like,
No.
At first I was like, ooh, isn't that interesting? And then I was like, oh my God, stop thinking about that. That's way too much.
Overdo it much.
Way too extra in my Star Wars analytical brain.
But it is weird how he's hard to pigeonhole. Like, in the course of even the 2 episodes, he kind of, I don't know, he like bounces around being different characters. It's kind of like he doesn't know who he is, but we don't know who he is either.
Yeah,
Which
true.
is, I mean, because Ezra was kind of like a lost character. You know, he was trying to find himself, but he had a pretty solid vein that ran through his character. Sure, it changed throughout the season, but I feel like Kaz is just like,
Well, I don't know who this guy is.
yeah, bumping all over the place.
I know, it's really hard for me to understand who he is right now. And I think definitely at the beginning of Rebels, you get introduced to Ezra and you're like, oh, so he's like Star Wars Aladdin. Got it.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
I'm pretty sure I said that.
You probably did.
You thief.
I am a thief. But with Kaz, it's like, and I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing, I don't know. But right now, there's like so many times he does things that are so unlikable.
Oh, he's so cringy.
Right?
He's
And
like Michael Scott level of cringy. If you've ever watched The Office, he does some things that you're just like, I feel uncomfortable watching this. Why? Like, please get through this so we can get to the next thing, because I don't like watching you make this dumb mistake.
And
type thing.
I liked his goofiness at the beginning in the first episode. I really liked that. But I feel like it got into this weird, like, he just makes some bad decisions in the second. And
Well, yeah.
we're talking about the second episode.
Yeah, we'll try to focus. He has this weird, like, naive nature, but at the same time, he shouldn't be. He was a pilot with the New Republic. He should have some worldly, like.
And maybe that's what we're getting at with like his dad doing things for him.
Okay, yeah. So maybe that's the angle they're going for. That he has always been like bubble boyed.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is the first time, so he's kind of getting a taste of what it's like not to have that protection, which that might be what the case is. I don't know. This is, again, I think we said this last time, we're unpacking all these things out of 2, essentially 40 minutes of a kid's show. So
right, exactly. It's not supposed to be that deep.
The grain of salt is going to smash us both. But anyway, it's terrible and I hate it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, Brian. No, I like this show, and I like that we're getting all these new characters. I think the parts room, or whatever you would call it, with the aliens there, those are some of my favorites.
Requisition, isn't that what they say?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. They're really cool.
The
I
owl
like him
beast thing is just terrific.
for sure.
And they really can't recreate that well. Like, that's an animated type alien only, which I kind of like, because that would be really weird to make. I mean, they could do it.
That would bother me a little bit.
Well, I think it would be super creepy to be like live action, but still, it would be hard because you got those spindly arms and legs. They could do it CG wise, but I don't think it would look right. I think it's a neat thing to do where you're taking something that the animation can allow you all this creativity, and they're actually taking advantage of it instead of filling the background with humans, which I feel like they did a lot on Lothal. But I guess Lothal was inhabited by humans, so whatever.
Stop being so critical, Brian.
I know. I just like aliens. Give me
oh my
more.
gosh. I liked in this episode because, I mean, the whole premise is that he's not doing a very good job at being a mechanic.
Yeah, because he's never been one before.
Right.
Like,
Shocker.
and he's never been a spy either. That's so funny, too, because his whole thing is he's a pilot. He wants to be a great pilot. So he gets, sucked into this resistance job to be a spy, which he's never done and has no experience with. But as a spy, he's going to be a mechanic, which he's never done and has no experience with.
I know.
Like,
I mean,
I feel bad for the dude because it's terrible. He's got two jobs, which he can't do either.
The whole point of that is that Poe said there's something that he doesn't know what it is, but he's got it.
It's probably the Force.
Oh, God.
Wait and see.
I hope not. Anyway, I think it's this passion to do the right thing. I think that's really what it's going to end up being. And
it's the same thing Poe later sees in Finn, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it's going to be that same thing. The same thing he sees in Finn is going to be the same thing he sees in Kaz. And I like this episode because it puts him back again with the running into the wrong crowd and trying to get away and that sort of thing. And also him doing the right thing of his most prized possession. He's using that to save someone who hates his guts and doesn't even thank him for it. I mean, that shows, we keep asking, like, who is he? That's who he is.
Yeah, he is that, like, heart of gold type.
Without the scoundrel part. He's the heart of gold.
Well, yeah,
he's a goofy guy.
And just like Ezra, just like Luke, all the great heroes in Star Wars are, like, super pure-hearted, until they grow up and get grumpy and live on an island by themselves. Mm-hmm. But
that's what green milk does to you. Don't drink the green milk.
Yeah,
fellas.
don't do it. Green milk, not even once. But yeah. Anyway, like
this is your brain on green milk. Okay, I'm done.
Wow. Okay. Where were we? Basically, all the Star Wars protagonists, like Rey, everyone, they have this pure heart. They always do the right thing, even if it's not the easy thing, even if it's not the thing they actually want to do. They always do the right thing. That's how you know you're a Star Wars protagonist.
So let's take a step back, because you just brought up this whole, like, that's how you know you're a Star Wars protagonist. Let's take a step back and get out of the lens of Star Wars, because we always compare Star Wars to Star Wars.
True.
How would you compare that to other Hearts of Gold protagonists?
Well, I mean, it's the same. There's several different IPs. I mean, like Harry Potter, for example. Harry always does the right thing.
That's true.
Even if he doesn't want to, or it's a hard thing. Mm-hmm. So it's a very common thread among, especially younger oriented stuff, because you don't really want to show kids this, hey, you can still be a good guy, but also be kind of a jerk, Like, you don't want that anti-hero type to be like what little kids aspire to.
Maybe that's
you kind of have to work up to that a little bit, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's why so many high school kids like Deadpool.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's when you start, you're going through your angsty phase, and then you're like, yeah, Venom, Deadpool.
Han Solo.
I'm so dark and cool.
You have to graduate to your Han Solo.
Yeah, exactly. You go exactly. You start out as a little whiny, good-hearted Luke, and then you become Han Solo and get the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
And then you can maybe just transcend to Lando. I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
No, that's
a stretch. There's only
that's
one.
like the tippy top of Maslow's right there. Not very many people get there.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey, Hyperspace Podblast listeners. I hope you're enjoying this great podcast. This is Devin Kleffer from Outer Rim Originals, your online source for limited edition Star Wars artwork from officially licensed Disney and Topps artists. Each Outer Rim Original artwork has the industry's lowest run of only 45 prints. All limited edition pieces from Outer Rim Originals are printed on archival quality Z-Clay paper, are hand-numbered, signed by the artist, and include a certificate of authenticity from Outer Rim Originals. And because you're a listener of this podcast, Outer Rim Originals is offering you the opportunity to purchase a limited edition signed print with 10% off of your order. Simply head to outerrimoriginals.com and enter the discount code PODBLAST, the number 10. That's PODBLAST 10. Then get ready to be the envy of the galaxy with a limited edition signed print from Outer Rim Originals. Remember, outerrimoriginals.com, discount code PODBLAST10. That's outerrimoriginals.com, discount code PODBLAST10. Now, back to Hyperspace Podblast.
We're back.
Hopefully you haven't moved on to a new podcast.
So what did you like about this episode, Brian?
I like the whole overzealous sort of, I am a spy now. I am great at spying. Look at me spying. I have figured out this whole plot. Next episode in, I've already figured out who the First Order guy is. I've got this whole thing figured out. And then it turns out to be completely off base, but he does like accidentally save the day, and then he's the hero that no one even knows did anything. So that's always kind of a Star Warsy thing too, to do something on accident and save the day. So I mean, it wasn't really on accident, but kind of. It's
very Obi-Wan.
Well, I was thinking more like Anakin blowing up the droid control ship on accident. And like Han accidentally killing Boba Fett. That kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
But I don't know, it works. And it's interesting then that at the end you find out, he was way closer to actually finding out his end goal than we ever thought. Like, he basically did it, but then thought he didn't do it. So now, in a strange twist, he's probably off the scent of the actual First Order people because of their fouling up, basically.
Yeah.
So Phasma really should be happy about what happened, but I don't think Phasma can be happy.
No, there is no happiness.
Yeah.
No joy.
They took that out of the clones.
So, I mean,
# clone Phasma.
I really like Yeager, like a lot.
Yeah, he's my favorite part of the whole series. I'm really interested to see what his background is, because I mean, we know obviously he was with the rebellion. He and Poe go way back. They say that 3 times or something like that. But it's interesting too, because we have a very parallel type relationship between Yeager and Kaz and Ezra and Kanan, because we have the old, I was part of the thing that came before this, and I'm going to teach this younger person to kind of take them under my wing type thing. And now we're learning that Yeager was a great pilot, so he's going to be teaching Kaz the ways of the pilot instead of the ways of the Jedi, like Kanan did with Ezra.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the next episode, but it's okay, whatever.
Oh, is that when we find that out?
Sorry, guys.
Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, you can kind of assume that if Poe and he go way back, that he was probably a pilot. I don't think Poe palled around with ground troops.
Well, I think that is a really good point. I hadn't thought of that. That gives me more hope that he's not going to turn into some sort of weird pseudo Jedi thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I can see a meeting where they're like, okay, well, you're not going to do a Jedi, but if the ratings aren't at least this high, turn on the Force in the kid.
Oh my god.
Turns out he's Broom Boy.
Oh no.
Wait, no, that's the wrong
Broom
timeline.
Boy's dad.
Broom Boy's dad. There you go. Everyone's related.
And he's also Rey's dad. So.
Oh, well. Oh, have people started that yet?
I don't know if
that has to be a thing.
Has to.
I think the timeline's terrible. Maybe it's Rey's brother.
Actually, he's going to be like the fourth point of the love square between Rey and
that's just a mess if you're doing that, because you're gonna have Rey, Finn,
so
Rose, Kylo, Kaz. Poe's gonna jump in there because he's like, I just love everybody. I just want in on this. Can I be in the middle? Y'all fight over me.
Can I just sit here and watch?
Yeah. In the closet with my Superman shirt on.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That stuff is just too weird for me.
That's funny. I haven't thought about that. That's great, actually, that I haven't thought about that. But I haven't seen it
Timeline
either.
does not work out at all.
Well, just any kind of... There have to be people online saying Kaz is involved somehow. Because that's what Star
totally
Wars
Rey's
people
brother.
do. Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be. I need to get online and find that. I want to see what the dumb theories are. Are people shipping Kaz and Rey yet? Probably. Probably.
It's not dumb. It's just not probable. And you know what?
I'm
Have your
shipping
ships.
Niku and Rei right now in my head, and it's weird.
I don't hate it.
It's weird.
Let's move on.
I wasn't
Niku
actually
is
doing
the
that. Just
cutest
FYI.
thing. I continually just am surprised and so pleased to see him on screen every single time.
Yeah, I feel like he and pretty much everyone kind of took a back seat. The
You don't see the pilot girl anymore. I forget her name. Gosh.
the Overwatch looking girl.
Yeah, she does.
I'm just gonna call her Overwatch because she's seriously, they could pluck her from here and stick her in Overwatch, and people would be like, "Yep."
We still haven't been
I got it.
introduced to the Rhodian.
Oh yeah, the main pilot, cool
Makes
guy.
me mad.
I like the ships too. Just as an aside, like it's really neat. They're very Star Wars-esque, but also look like speeders and fighter pilots, not pilots, fighter jets stuck together. I don't know. They're Star Warsy and not Star Warsy at the same time, which is kind of how I would describe the entire series. It is Star Wars, but doesn't feel like Star Wars, but at the same time does, because it's got Star Wars like literally all over it. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me, and I don't know how to feel, and I'm scared and sad.
Do you think it's going to do well?
Gosh, I don't know. I want to say yes, but Star Wars is in a weird place right now, and I almost think that The Mandalorian would have done better now than this,
I agree.
and maybe this later, but I mean, what are you going to do? That's the
I'm
way.
very much on the Mandalorian hype phase.
I know, same. All these little images coming out are just so tasty. Tasty teasers.
Yeah.
But no, I think it'll do well. I hope it'll do well. It's a good introduction for kids to Star Wars, because I think if they don't like Star Wars, maybe they'll like this, because it's not exactly Star Wars. I don't know. It's so different, and I really want to like it because of the differentness. And it's not that I don't like it. I don't know. I'm critical, but I do enjoy it, and
Right.
I'm really looking forward to what happens. Like I want it to be more fleshed out. I really want to watch I want to Netflix this thing. You know what I mean? I hate this waiting for episodes. I'm so over this old way
Oh
of
my
watching
gosh,
TV.
I can't immediately watch the
I
next
know.
one right now.
Dumb.
I'm so impatient. I'm ready for some more racing. I'm ready for Kaz to be in the air more. I'm ready for
Yeah, I think we're both. We want to be like 5 episodes in and have like things more solidified. Like,
And you know what's funny though is that's probably how Kaz is feeling right now.
Yeah,
like,
true.
He's just like, oh my gosh, I'm here to like figure stuff out, but I also want to fly, and like I don't know. He's probably very frustrated at the moment, but I feel like these 2 episodes that we just watched, which we're going to talk about the next one soon, it's all about the development, all about easing you in and getting you some background, because you can't just have them start making decisions and be like, well, why would they do that?
Well, and it is a kid's show, so they're doing that thing where there's an overarching story, but it moves very, very slowly uphill. Like this plot mountain is gonna take forever to get up. But within that, they have these little loop stories that are self-contained within the episodes. This is something they did a lot in Rebels as well. And this is something that a lot of people didn't like, because Clone Wars often had the arcs that were 2, 3, sometimes even 4 episodes long, where, that whole arc was your circular plot mountain, whatever you want to call it. And this is more like a slow incline with little loops in it, loop-de-loops of circles. Because we had this whole thing with the guy who was impatient and he seems shady, and Kaz is like, oh, this is my dude. I'm on it. I'm the best spy ever. And turns out to be right and wrong at the same time. And then that whole arc closes for the most part. And then the next episode starts, and we have this whole other arc that we'll discuss later.
And, I also really liked the pirates.
Yeah, they were pretty cool. Their ships were cool. All the ships in this thing is just neat. I would really like to study them with my eyeballs.
With your eyeballs? Not your nose balls?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to smell them. They probably smell greasy. So a couple episodes in, what predictions do you have? Does anything that you thought might happen earlier change based on this episode? Or are you still feeling we're on the same track? This didn't really change anything.
I don't think this changes anything.
Yeah. I
for
think,
like what I think's going to happen.
Right. Again, because it's like that. We have a little character development and then a self-contained story. So there weren't any big developments, really.
Well, I guess understanding that that they're basically trying to dismantle the platform by driving them into the First Order's hands through pirates.
Right,
That's
yeah.
a big plot point.
I suppose that's true, yeah. They're basically trying to use pirates to continually harass the system or the station so that they'll reach out for the First Order's help, and then the First Order can then basically take over the platform, I think is what their angle is.
Offering our protection.
Yeah, exactly. Which is very, like, separatist republic-y. It's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The sequel trilogy is so prequel-y in some aspects that I don't think enough people have really thought about. But anyway, what were your thoughts on the episode, internet world?
Yes, let us know on Twitter at hyperspace_pod.
Shoot us an email at hyperspacepodblast@gmail.com.
And you can always check out our content on hyperspacepodblast.com.
Bourgeois!
We will talk to you later, guys.
Bye!
Bye.